everyone, it's your girl, Granny Anna, here to inspire you and make sure that you get an A on your next exams. Please be warned that I have been binge watching some Filthy Frank and some Run BTS videos before filming this, and so my level of extra is like J-Hope extra. Bear with me. In my opinion, there are 5 ingredients that you need in order to kick some serious test butt. Those are strategy, planning, momentum, motion, and elimination. And on top of that, the first 2 are pretty much the most important ones of all. If you allocate 80% of your thought, brain power, and energy into these 2, the remaining 20% will then feel like a walk in the park. So let us begin with strategy, knowing your enemy, the exam, and knowing yourself. Strategy refers to the high-level plan of attack. So what study methods or active reading methods you're going to be using to study for the exam, how much time you're going to need, what you should focus on, etc., etc. But in order to figure out this action plan, I want you to keep in mind 2 words. Ask questions, as many as you can. Ask your teacher, the TA, your classmates, your friends of friends, online. Figure out as much as you can about your enemy before you even try to think of how to go into battle. To make it that much easier for you, here's a list of questions that I make sure to ask other people and myself before moving any further. When is the exam? So the date, time, and location. What type of exam it is? Open book, multiple choice, essay, etc., etc. How much is the exam worth? How long do we have to complete it? So an hour, 3 hours usually. How many questions will be on the exam? What chapters will be covered? And is there an older version of the test I can use to practice? Now, what I ask myself is, given the type of exam, what study method works best? Given the exam is worth X%, how much would I have to score to get an A in the class, like overall? Given the length of the exam and the number of questions, how fast would I have to answer each question? Given the number of questions and the chapters covered in the exam, how likely is the teacher to go into details? What type of questions would I ask the students if I were the teacher? And finally, where can I get practice or sample questions to have a better feel of how the exam would be phrased? So after developing your high-level strategy, now it's time to figure out how to put it into action. Number 2, planning. Follow the yellow brick road. I have a number of videos on different planning methods, techniques that you can use, so definitely check them out. But the point I am trying to drill into your brain is that the more mini questions you have to ask yourself every time when you sit down to study, the more you will exhaust your brain, and therefore it will be completely drained of juices before even starting to do the work. Having a plan or a checklist that follows you throughout your studying journey is as easy as having a GPS, turning it on, and just, following along. It's that easy, but you have to put in the time, work, and energy to develop it and make it good the first time. If you're curious to know what planning method I am currently using, I've been a huge fan of the OKR method. I've been using it, I think, since March, and I love it. It's really effective. I even use it at work. So if you want me to do a video on that one, give this video a thumbs up, and if we can get it to 1,500 thumbs up, I will do it for you. Number 3, momentum. The significance of insignificant actions. If I were to tell you how easy is it to bungee jump a bit extreme, but I'm going somewhere with this, I promise. That first little step when you jump off the cliff is probably, actually, without a doubt, the most difficult and scariest part of bungee jumping. But in the grand scheme of things, taking one tiny step can seem very insignificant. A lot of students, including myself, struggle a lot with just starting to study. Starting seems quite impossible, especially if you're not motivated, which, let's face it, like, is anyone ever motivated to study? However, once you take that small leap of faith, you build momentum, and that is the key to being consistent and of always doing your work. Easier said than done, I know. Here's a little trick to help you get started when you don't wanna. Ask yourself, what is the smallest, most insignificant thing I can do right now to move me closer to my goal, which is acing this exam? Once you've done that, ask yourself the question again. What is the next smallest, most insignificant thing I can do to move me closer to my goal? And keep asking yourself this question until you forget to ask yourself that question. This is called getting the ball rolling. Number 4, the Jayhawk Method. Why do you feel sleepy when you study? If you've been following me for a while, for sure you know the answer to that. It's because you are using a passive reading or learning strategy. A way to counteract this is think, what would Jayhawk do? That ball of sunshine energy. How would he approach studying? I'm pretty sure it's gonna be extra AF and very loud and with a lot of hand gestures, okay? That's how I want you to study. Jayhawk would be proud. I've done an entire video on improving your multi-sensory study skills, and it's all about movement and creating motion to feel like you're progressing while you study. So definitely check it out. But bottom line, use at least 2, preferably 3, active reading or learning strategies in every single study session. And finally, number 5, elimination. The reason you feel stuck and stressed out. The end goal of all your hard work should be this vision of you standing on your desk like Dead Poet Society style with one sheet of paper high above you and a smile on your face. Unfortunately, a lot of us simply drag all our textbooks, notes, practice tests, and all that bulky stuff with us throughout the entire studying process. And so not only does it freak you out because it feels like you're doing nothing because it's the same amount of stuff you have on your desk, but also it brings the question, have I done enough? Have I studied enough? Where is my proof that I've done, I don't know, 100 hours of work in preparation for this? I highly encourage you to please not miss next Thursday's video, which is all about my favorite method of all time, and that is the funnel method, because it will change your student and work life. I promise. I've been using it forever, and I can attest and assure you that it works every single time without fail. In a nutshell, and to get you a little bit curious, it's kind of like Ariana Grande's Thank You Next. So you've read the textbook, thank you, next. Why do I put this on the internet? So let's end this here before I embarrass myself any further. The key to acing your exams are these 5 very important elements. I will repeat them one more time: strategy, planning, momentum, motion, and elimination. Before I leave you, I have a small book recommendation of the week. I've really been loving Make It Stick: The Science of Successful Learning, and I will link it down below if you want to check it out. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up And subscribe to me if you like what you see, because we're gonna be happy. And once again, please don't miss next Thursday's video, because not only it's gonna be on the funnel method, which is awesome, but I also gonna give you a little bit of a life update and why I have been a little bit MIA and absent during the past few weeks. It's a good thing, I promise, it's a good thing.